So in the eyes of God, everybody is same. He does not love good more than bad. So if you don't see God in the profane and the profound, then you've missed half the story. All God wants is for us to know that we are God. So hell happens when we choose to feel unhappy, incomplete, or separate from God. Friends, we are here today to listen to the summary of the book, Conversation with God. And I would like to thank BEHF team for giving me this opportunity to share the summary of the book. So this book is a beautiful conversation between the author, Neale Walsch. And when Neale was going through a very low point in his life, like he was going through an existential crisis, he had this conversation with God. It is a conversation between the author and the God, and the author already had this habit of journaling his thoughts every day. So at this point in life, when he was having a really low point, like a very depressing state of life, he started writing his questions to God. And while he was writing, he was surprised to see that automatically God started replying him through writing again. So it is like auto writing. We call it auto writing or channeling. The messages in this book breaks down the traditional ideology of God being very tyrannical. And normally, as our religions preach to be in fear and obey God, otherwise we'll be punished. He asks us to fact check these theories and not follow it blindly. So this book is one of the 3 books that he started writing, and it is filled with casual dialogue with humor here and there. So the theme of the book is about interconnectedness with all human beings, or with all beings, how to get abundance in whatever area of life you're looking at, and also how we can overcome our limiting beliefs and become a co-creator with God. So the areas of topics covered in this book are mostly about prayer, about life and soul purposes, how to change life situations, how to achieve success, and a lot of beautiful details about death and dying, suffering, how to heal from health problems. So I'll try to cover as much as possible with the given time, and after that we can have some question answer sessions. What is God? As we know, God is what we believe to be in the form, like has a form. But God is someone to be loved without fear, because everything in the sight of God is love, and it is to be loved. To reject anything is to deny that we exist, because God exists in us and everyone and everything around us. So in the eyes of God, everybody is same. He does not love good more than bad. So we don't have to worry about anything bad we did. And God does not want our worship. He does not want our obedience. He's not asking us to serve him, because he is whole, he is complete as it is, as he is. And no deity needs anything in particular, any offerings we give to God. That's not what God is looking for. And one nice sentence that I came across in the book is, if you don't see God in the profane and the profound, then you've missed half the story. God is just here to observe, and he asks us to be like him. He has created us in his likeness, and all he expects us to be is like him. And then the author talks to him about, asks him about prayers. We pray to you so many times, but why don't you answer our prayers? But God says that, I answer all your prayers, but who listens? You all keep reliving the same experiences and same situations every day, but nobody is listening to me. So the author asks him, how do you communicate to us? So God says that my messages are in primarily three forms. One is through thoughts, the second is through feelings, and third is through experience. So thoughts are through mainly pictures and images, and the feelings are the language of the soul. And through feelings we get experiences. And until we stop our thoughts from our mind, only then we can receive those communications from God. So he says, my messages are always the highest thought, and the words are the cleanest thought, and the feelings are the grandest. So the highest thought is of that of joy. The clearest word are those of truth, when we speak the truth, and the grandest feeling is that of love. And then the author asks God that why do some prayers go unanswered? To this, God says that because your prayers come from lack, they don't come from gratitude. Then the author says that, okay, if we speak from abundance, doesn't it look like we are manipulating our prayers? Doesn't it? It feels like that we are lying, if we speak from abundance, but actually we know it is lack. So God says that have faith. Like the most important element is to have faith, and always feel gratitude for what you have, and from there you get more of gratitude in your life. You'll get more opportunities to express your gratitude. And then the author goes on to have more conversations with God, saying that, so do you decide which prayers to say yes to and which prayers to say no, and then you leave some for later? So God says that I say yes to every prayer, but I have given you the power, because I have made you in the likeness of me. So you have the power to answer most of your prayers yourself. You don't have to wait for me. It is our choice. Like, God doesn't have any preference of answering this prayer over the other, because the ultimate outcome is assured. It is going to happen in every one of our lives, which is God realization. So it is just a matter of time. It is just that we are in a hurry to have some things at this moment right now, but God knows that it comes. It will happen eventually, but the change first has to be within us. So there are three things to keep in mind when it comes to thought. Is that thought is creative, and the whole idea between love and fear is all our emotions come from only two aspects, which is love and fear. I mean, normally when we grow up, we are taught only conditional love through parents, society, and school, and we take it forward to our own relationships. So, but God says that these two factors are very necessary, without which the world wouldn't exist. So these two factors of love and fear has always been there from the beginning of creation. And all thoughts and actions are motivated from these two basic factors, and every human thought comes from these two factors. So fear is the energy that contracts or closes. It contracts, it closes down, or we tend to hide or run from it, or we hoard a lot of things due to fear. But but on the other hand, love is the energy that expands and it opens up. We tend to share more, and it heals. In this life, we got to be very careful to know which energy we are responding from. Is it through fear or through love? Because thoughts are very creative. He says that you can be and have whatever you can imagine when you have the right thought. But when we act from fear fear will attract more of fear. It is, you will attract what you fear, in short. Like if you are in fear, you will attract more of fear factors. So when you identify yourself in fear, quickly change it to love. Then the next discussion between him and God is, what is the purpose of life? So God says that we are created for just one purpose of God, because He is whole. He doesn't need anything. All God wants is for us to know that we are God. And for us, the purpose is that we know ourselves as we are God. So that is the only purpose. Otherwise, God doesn't need anything from us. He is whole and He wants us to know that we are whole. We already have what we are looking for. So this life is an opportunity to know experientially what we know already through concepts. The only factor remains is to act on it. To act on what? On all the things that we know already. Like we know that we have to be kind, we have to be generous, that we know we can't get angry all the time. So it's a time to put that knowing into acting. So the soul is very clear on its purpose, which is the evolution. It is not concerned with achievements of the body or the development of the mind. All these are meaningless to the soul. So you have to understand that soul sees things very differently than what mind does. What soul is after is the highest feeling of love, you can imagine. The highest feeling is the experience of unity among all humans. So for soul to experience perfect love, it must experience every other human feeling. Only when we understand what is lack, what is sadness, what is anger, shall we know what the other highest feelings are. And we should be able to experience all the feeling without judging it, without condemning it, without ridiculing it in ourselves as well as in others. We can't judge or attack others just because they are going through such emotions or acts. Because if we judge others, in short, we are judging ourselves. Okay, and God says that every lifetime we promise God over and over again that we would spend rest of our lives sharing this eternal truth with others, not for any gain or glory, but to help our humankind, to help them come out of their pain and suffering. So one is to know ourselves, how to get out of our problems, and then help others. So this is the promise we've made, and that is what is written in the book. How do you change life situations? So since the author is going through a difficult life situation, he is asking God, like, how do I change my life situation? So he says that to see a change outside, first you have to change on the inside. Otherwise, you can't change your life situation. And when you're in that life situation, you ask yourself, what part of myself do I wish to experience now in the face of this problem or in this calamity? Suppose somebody is irritating you, somebody is triggering you. What aspect of my powers do I use now? It's like you have a toolkit of all the powers. Now, which of that am I going to use now to get me out of this problem? So that is the question that you have to ask. So if somebody is irritating you, somebody is annoying you, what do you take out of your bag? Do you take out patience? Do you use love to help you in that situation? Or do you use anger? He makes it clear that we are not victims. Do not feel as victims. We are only creators of our situation. And God will not interfere. He will not interfere in our problems, because his job is only to observe what we choose. Just as he doesn't judge, he expects us also not to judge anyone, not to pity anyone, and not to envy anyone. He says, do not go around counseling people. All you need to do is counsel yourself. So when we are in the darkness, what do we do? How do we bring in the light? He says, when you're in the darkness, don't forget to praise the creation. because in the time of our greatest trial is our greatest triumph. So we have to only demonstrate that, and that is how our soul progresses. And after that, he goes on to ask God that how do I have fun while I'm still making a living? Like I don't want to be struggling and doing things that I don't like, but how do I strike a balance between the two? So God says that do what you love to do. Don't do things that you don't like. And there is a difference between doing and being, because everyone pays more emphasis on doing, and everybody in the process of doing they forget how to be. So doing is a function of the body and being is a function of the soul. So we have to always realign ourselves and catch us and bring us back in the being rather than doing. Then next is to try and experience the doing by not thinking yourself as the doer, as we've also seen in Bhagavad Gita. Don't think that you are the doer. Experience whatever you want to do or be. Like if you want, you can be happy, you can be sad, you can feel strong, joyful, insightful. You can be anything you want, but don't take the assumption that you are the doer. And the fourth, and then the next point is the location. Be in the right place at the right time. That will help you have fun as well as make a living. And then the last thing is to work on your skill. When you have if you look around, those who are skilled do better. So always work on your skill. Like you're on this planet to produce something with your soul. Everybody comes with a soul purpose, and your body is simply a tool for your soul. And your mind is the power that makes the body work. So you have the tool and your power in your mind. And then with the help of these two, you can make a living. So the next question he has for God is, how do we achieve success? So he says that there are 6 steps to success. The first starts with the thought. Your thought is an idea or a conception. Like if everything we see around us is somebody else's idea. This table, chair, or anything we see around is somebody's idea. If it is in the nature, it is the creator's idea. So think about what you want, visualize it, and think about it often until you have a clear vision what you want. And then when you are very clear, think about nothing else. Imagine no other possibility. You throw all the negative thoughts out of your mind. You lose all your doubts, reject all fears. You discipline your mind to hold fast onto the original creative thought. And then live through that thought every day. Imagine what you would think, do, and say, and how you would respond to when others do and say something, through the whole process. And now that you see where you want to be, you begin to change your thoughts and words and actions to match that greatest vision. So that is the first step, thought. And then comes word. So next is the word. Everything you say is thought expressed. It sends forth creative energy into the universe. So words are very dynamic. They can disrupt or change or alter and affect with great impact. So be very careful with your words. And the third is action. Actions are words moving, and words are thoughts expressed, and thoughts are ideas formed. So which way a thing changes depends on your actions, which is very important. If you just stop with your thoughts and words, you won't see it happen in this physical world. So action is very important. And don't feel sorry for yourself or all the things that has happened so far, because sitting around, spilt milk won't get you anything. So what you do when things don't go as you wanted or things didn't happen for you, so that comes in the next step. Okay, so and then for creation to happen, you have to think, speak, and act as though you are God, because since we are made in the likeness of God, we have the power to make it happen. So we have to think and act as though we are God. Everything is in us, like we don't lack anything. And then third is to have gratitude, intense and incredible gratitude, like no doubt about it. Like you have to be grateful for everything that you have. And fourth is celebrate and enjoy all that you will create and also all that you have. Then you reject any part of like suppose something have not gone well as per your expectations. Like don't worry about it, it is all part of the process. You own it, you claim it, and you bless it and you thank for it, but don't condemn it. Like things don't go your way, bless it and be thankful that even this situation is part of the journey. Don't condemn it. And then since you need to change, the next step is to adapt. So if there is some aspect of your creation that you do not enjoy, you simply bless it and choose again. You choose your thoughts again. You speak your new words. You do your new things, and then that's how you manifest again. So don't be disheartened by anything that doesn't go your way. You always have options and opportunities to recreate what you want. And then the last step is I am. Use the power of I am statements. Whatever you think and you say after the words I am, you set it into motion. And those experiences, you call them forth into your being. So this universe responds to I am like a genie in the bottle. It is all matter of discipline. The more you are disciplined in using your I am, with good intent, it comes into being. So the first step is to monitor your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts, then you think again. You keep thinking positive. You got to train your mind, just like how we trained our mind to think negative. Likewise, we can train our mind to think positive. So then the next topic is 10 commandments. So this is something we all know. So it says, love God with all your heart. Do not call me for frivolous things. Don't just call me for small problems in your life. Because we are God and we have the ability to make changes. So that was something very funny. And the third is dedicate a time and day for me. It's like it could be meditation or connecting with nature. Then the fourth is honor your parents. Fifth is do not kill any being. Sixth is be honest. Seventh is do not take anything that is not your own. Eighth is be truthful. And ninth is do not covet your neighbor's spouse. And 10th is their goods. The next is about heaven and hell. So the author asked God, what is the purpose of hell? Is there some place where you give punishment to people? So God says that why would I be so vengeful? Do I have to punish people to give them justice? Won't a small talk with us, with them just suffice? And, just a small talk with God, can just clear your karma. I mean, why do I have to make you to go through hell? So hell is something we have created. It is the outcome of our own choices, decisions, and creations. Okay, so it is the pain we suffer through wrongful thinking, and actually we are not that. We are not what our mind thinks us to be. We are actually the greater truth, which is we are God ourselves. So hell is the opposite of joy. So when we are not joyful, we are in hell. When we feel unfulfilled, we feel we are in hell. And hell does not exist after death. It is just a fear-based theology. So hell happens when we choose to feel unhappy, incomplete, or separate from God. So it does mean that, so then author asks him, so does it mean that we can do whatever we want and we won't go to hell? So God says that, see, you are the rule maker. I have given you the guidelines, like the 10 commandments. I'm not the one going to judge you. So you will have that opportunity after you die, that which will come to the next slide, where you can decide what you want to do. So the whole point of the process is for us to discover and create ourselves as we truly are. So then so the author asks that, so how do I do that? So God says that begin by sitting still. Begin by sitting still, then still your mind. So when you do that, you will know that heaven is right within you. And then God says that, see, I will do nothing for you that you will not do for yourself. That is a beautiful saying that is in the book, that since we are gods, He's not going to do our homework. Be it saving the forest or stopping the war, don't expect God to come and do that for us. We are gods. So it is up to us. We want to create a hell or heaven on earth. About death and dying, I don't have that slide up here, but I'll just give a short uh, summary of death and dying. So we have created the society in which it is not okay to die, because we are so comfortable with this life here that no matter what conditions or circumstances, we don't want to die, nor we don't want anyone else to die. So the entire medical profession is they are in an illusion, and they try to keep people alive rather than keeping them comfortable. So for the soul, death is the only relief, okay, when it is released from the body. So after life, there is no judgment, there is no accounting that comes up, there is no thumbs down or thumbs up, thumbs up or thumbs down about how you lived your life, because only humans are judgmental. And there is an opportunity to look again at our life and assess what we have done, look at our choices, and based on that, based on the life that we have lived, we get another opportunity to be who we want to be. So that is about death and dying. And then suffering. When it comes to suffering, why do we suffer? Our judgments keep us away from joy. So when we judge people, that keeps us away from joy. And our expectations make us unhappy. So all of this causes us disease and thereby brings us suffering. When we judge others, it is nothing but disease. Okay, suffering is an unnecessary experience. So a practicing master or a sadhak or a meditator does not speak of his suffering because he understands the power of our words. So the moment you start to speak suffering, you're just inviting more suffering. So it has got nothing to do with the events around us. Suffering is not what happens around us, it is how we react to them, is what is suffering. And whatever we pay attention to is what we make real, be it the news. When we look at the news, when we look at what's going on in the world, in the country, whatever we pay attention to, we bring it to real, we make it happen in our lives. So it is better you keep away from all the unwanted news, because it's not going to help us in any way. Now, how to get rid of health problems? This is very interesting part. So when author asks God how to get rid of health problems, God gets very humorous and he says, health problems, I thought you love them. You use them to feel sorry about yourself and to get attention. So where's the question? So all illness is self-created, and we do so quite unconsciously. When we think thoughts of illness or disease, even when we are healthy, when we think of illness and disease, and we kind of give an invitation for it to come into our life. And on the other hand, we continue with anger, hatred, negativity. So your body translates all these thoughts into physical form. Like a smoker wonders why he gets cancer. People who have heart problems, they wonder why they have such problems, and they consume animal products. We get angry and wonder why we get heart attacks. So all this competition, worry, bring us to death. So worry is the worst form of mental activity. If there is one thing that we should get rid of from our lives is worry. Because next to hatred, worry is very self-destructive. Worry is pointless. It is waste of mental energy. It also creates biochemical reaction which harms the body, producing everything from indigestion in the stomach to any heart or any multitude of illness in between. And then hatred, as a continuation, hatred is very damaging mental condition. It poisons the body and affects all organs. And when you look at these emotions of fear and hatred, it is exactly opposite of what we are made of. We are made of love. It is exactly opposite of everything that we are, and fear magnifies all our problems. Worry, hate, fear, all put together, and all their offshoots like anxiety, bitterness, condemnation, all attack our own body. We think we are attacking others, but it all attacks our own body at cellular level. So it is impossible to have a healthy body when we think all these kind of emotions. So similarly, even greed leads us to physical illness. All illness is first created in the mind. Okay, even illness contracted from others like cold or AIDS. Because when we think any thought or we look at any news, in the outside world about any destruction, war, they all create some chemical imbalances. And when you think that, oh, my life is a mess, I'm a loser, I'm sick, I'm tired, God is going to punish me, I'm not worthy, all these lead to nothing but illnesses. So next is relationship and love. How do you have a healthy relationship? So God says that relationship is the only place where man can immediately and quickly experience nirvana. If you want to experience liberation, nirvana, or self-realization, and if you have a difficult relationship with somebody, that is the quickest way out. So most people enter into relationship with an eye towards what you can get out of it rather than what you can give. So the purpose of a relationship is to decide what part of yourself you would like to express more. Is it more of love? So the purpose of relationship is not to see what the other person will do to complete your needs, but on the other hand is what you can share to complete that relationship. So people enter into relationship for all wrong reasons, because they are single, because to end loneliness, to fill the gap of boredom, either they are depressed or they want to recover from previous relationship, or they just want somebody to love or somebody to love them. But if you enter into relationship for these reasons, like financial support or any of the above, the relationship will not work. Okay, in every relationship, one must only worry about your own soul evolution. When your obsession is about the other person, like how they are behaving or how they are talking or how they are responding, it will cause relationships to fail. So we have to cultivate the habit of seeing all problems in our relationships as opportunities for growth. And that is why the soul has taken birth. It is time to wake up, because when we were born we forgot all these wisdom, and now that we know about it through these books, it is time to wake up. So the most loving person is the one who takes care of their own emotions first. If you cannot love yourself, you cannot love the next person. And people always people make the mistake of seeking love through other people. So it is not in the action of others, but it is in your own reaction that you get salvation. So let people do anything they want to do. as long as we hold our equilibrium and keep ourselves centered and aligned all the time, good stuff will keep happening to us. So remember, the day we stop reacting is the day we realize that, we are progressing. So so the author asks, what do we do when we are in a difficult relationship? How do we get out of it? So how do we, heal ourselves, or how do we handle it? So what God says, that when you are hurt, you admit honestly to yourself and to the other person exactly how you are feeling. Okay, you are feeling hurt, you're feeling disrespectful, or whatever. You express how you're feeling, and then you express your need of the moment. What is it that you need? But at that time, do not get into comparison, blame, or complain. You say your truth kindly and completely, and then this brings you new clarities. Then second is to discern your feelings. When you get upset, when you get angry, and you want to hurt back, this person told me something, now I can give back in a better way that will keep the other person quiet. You have to quickly identify that feeling that you're getting. Do I have to really give back, or can I remind myself who I am, and what do I want to live in constant realization? You have to remind ourselves that we are here for a greater purpose, because we don't need to teach them a lesson. There is the laws of the universe that will teach them a lesson. We are not here to teach others a lesson. We are here to know, to remind ourselves that we are in the form of God. And then any of those ill-fitting feelings would never be entertained again. So it is at this stage that growth happens. The spiritual growth that we are always seeking happens in these times of, in these difficult times. So we have no obligation in any relationship. We only have opportunities to grow. And life gives us a lot of opportunities to create and remind ourselves that, that we are gods. So every predictable master makes this highest choice. And they always ask this question, like how Christians have this question, what would Christ do now? So you ask yourself at this point, what would love do now? How can I respond with love? Okay. So any questions so far? So let me know if you have any questions.
Hi, Shalini. This is a fantastic presentation. Our topic is really good, and you have also delivered very nicely. So thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Shalini. With full of
Thank you.
confidence. I'm really inspired by you. My
Thank
question is regarding that you said that how do we have fun while making our living, right?
you. Mm-hmm.
In that, the second point is that being while doing. So, can you give any example how we implement being while doing? So that
Being,
I didn't understand. Being while
huh,
doing. Like, yeah.
being while doing. So you have, we focus more on the doing. Like we are always doing. The book says we are always in the doing part, because the body is the doer, but the spirit is always in the being mode. Being as in as an observer. So the characteristic of God is being. So since we are the form of God, we also have to be in the state. For example, we always have things to do, right? We have about 10 things to do in a day. But while doing those 10 things, how are we? In what being are we? Are we being happy? Are we being frustrated? Are we doing all these things as, oh my God, it's a chore? Or are we being? You understand the difference? It's a slight difference. Instead of the things to do, have a things to be, like being grateful, being happy, being joyous. So be more of being than doing.
Okay, I got it. That means a nice one. How we are feeling while we are doing. That is the most
Right,
important. What are the state of
right,
our mind? Yeah.
right.
Thank you. Thank you, Shalini. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi,
Hi,
Shalini.
Pradeep.
Oh,
Hi.
yeah, wonderful presentation. Lot of useful information that we have to follow in our day-to-day's life. Really very
Okay.
useful. My
Thank
question
you.
is regarding the health and disease. You said if we keep on thinking about the disease, we attract the disease, right? So my
Right.
question is, the scientist. What about the scientists who are discovering drugs for cancer or any major disease? They're most of the time they'll be spending in thinking about the pathology of the disease. So in that case, even the scientists will be attracting the disease because they are thinking about the mechanism and how to discover the drug. So will they get the disease because they are all the time thinking about the disease?
Probably because they are under stress too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unless they are aware of spiritual teachings,
Mm-hmm.
probably at that time when they are doing it, they might, if they are in the state of being, they
Mm.
probably won't be that affected.
Okay.
Many, diseases or problems have no barriers. They come to rich, poor,
Yeah.
um, uh, doctors, patients, like everybody. It affects everybody. But at that, what is more important is, are you aware of your thoughts at that time?
Okay.
So, like, how is your awareness of your feelings, your thoughts? From what feelings are they doing their work? Is it from the
The,
feeling of
the
fear or
intention, the intention should be like to help the humanity, to help the mankind.
yeah, yeah?
If the
Are they
intention
doing
is
their
proper,
research from fear or love?
so service, like if the intention is about service, then
Hmm.
probably it
Probably.
helps. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Shalini.
Hi.
So beautiful presentation and beautiful book, Conversations with God. So here my question um, is the author talking about stillness or I mean, he spoke about this stillness. Anything about mindfulness? Because as far as we understand, more than being in the state of joy or love, being mindful is more important. Like,
No, he hasn't mentioned that in the book anywhere about mindfulness. But
so what's your take? Yeah,
his emphasis more on thoughts, like what thoughts we think,
positive. He
positive
meant it.
thoughts. Yeah, because that creates our reality.
Mhm. Nice, nice, nice. So, what's your take on that? To remove fear, we have to be in the state of joy and love, right?
Right, right.
Uh, and and so, like, we have to be mindful while working, or do we have some intention while we are doing things? Um,
Mindful, yes. We have to be mindful, like as Pradeep sir also says, we got to be mindful while we do our work. And if it, yes, there is a slide which I haven't come to, where it says that there are times where you will need to be mindful, and there are times where you have to think also. You can't be just not thinking all the time. So there will be both times where you are,
okay.
where you don't, where you have to just not, but not, think too much, like do the work you're doing, and there will be times to think.
And what is this being? Being in mindfulness or being in like joy to be? I mean,
Like
be joy,
we
be
are
love, love.
we are human beings, right? So the being is the state of God, which is joy. There are three things:
Okay.
joy, love, and peace. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
three things: peace, love, and joy.
Mm-hmm.
That is the state of being.
Okay, so without thoughts is also a state of being. What I meant is, I
Thoughtless
mean, my
state, thoughtless state will take you to peace. So
okay.
you can't force yourself to be joyful. So it will
Mm-hmm.
start from peace. The first step is peace, and from peace comes joy. So peace happens when your mind is empty.
Mhm.
We can train ourselves to be peaceful first, and then from peace comes joy, and then from that springs love.
Love. So while doing our work, we have to be in this be state, being state. So that's the crux of this
Right.
presentation. Thank you so much for the beautiful presentation. Loved it.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Gaki.
Hello, ma'am. It's
Hello,
very
ma'am.
wonderful, magical meditation and your presentation. We learned so many things. And
Thank you.
I just want to add what I have learned from previous Ramana Maharishi. Though, what is being? Being is not the state of happiness or sadness. When we are sad, we are also in that being state. Being is the inner aspect. When we are sitting and doing meditation, and that time we are closing our eyes and there is nothing, and we are the watcher or the witnessing the breath. So while witnessing the breath, who is that thing or that awareness that watching that? Who is that? So being is the
Observer.
consciousness, the awareness, the inner awareness. While when we born, at that time, the child take birth, first breath he takes, then he is in that being state.
Right.
When we die, the being gone. So being is the awareness or consciousness. That is what I understood from Ramana Maharishi and J. Krishnamurti and Sagat Maharaj, the teaching. So that is my thing. So I wanted to add a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Yes. That was an important point too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Being
being
is the
is
state of awareness,
yeah
conscious
that
awareness.
yeah. So we are not doing somebody something inside us that is doing. But I'm talking, but who is there? Who is talking?
Right.
When we left, my body is there, but nobody is talking. I'm not doing anything. But that is the awareness or the consciousness or the prana or whatever you call, that is the being. We are saying that I am doing this, I am doing that. No, we are not doing that. Somebody inside in every being, so he's doing. So I don't know, I I could explain better, but you can read in the Ramana Maharishi, Sagat Maharaj.
Thank you, friends, for joining today. Sure.
Yeah,
Thank
J.D.
you. Thank you.
Krishnamurti's teaching.
Right. Thank you for sharing, ma'am.